With its timeless laughter and unforgettable friendship, The Golden Girls captured the hearts of millions thanks to its outstanding cast. But behind the spotlight, names like Bea Arthur, Estelle Getty, and Betty White hid harrowing tragedies: cancer, dementia, and the sudden deaths of not only these stars, but also other actors from the show. What really happened? Let's uncover their stories together. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Bea Arthur as Dorothy Zbornak. Beatrice Arthur was born on May 13, 1922. When she joined the Golden Girls at 63 years old, she played Dorothy Zbornak, a sharp, outspoken, yet deeply compassionate woman who became an unforgettable icon for generations of viewers. With her distinct, deep voice and nuanced acting, Arthur not only brought hearty laughter but also inspired reflection on friendship, family, and the challenges women face in later life. Her childhood was far from easy, as she was diagnosed early on with a bleeding disorder that limited her daily activities and demanded constant caution. But these struggles shaped a resilient Beatrice Arthur who refused to back down. During World War II, she joined the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve, working as a truck driver and transport coordinator, contributing to the war effort at a time when such roles were rare for women. After the war, Arthur was determined to pursue her passion for the arts, and she quickly made a name for herself on Broadway. She captivated audiences as Vera Charles in the musical Mame, a role that earned her a Tony Award in 1966. Before the Golden Girls, she made a lasting impact as Maud Findlay in Maud, a character who spoke out boldly for equality and challenged deep-rooted societal prejudices. These performances marked milestones in Arthur's career and helped shape the image of the modern, strong woman in American culture. Behind the stage lights, Arthur's personal life held its own share of loneliness. She went through 2 failed marriages, including nearly 3 decades with director Gene Saks, leaving her with quiet moments of reflection. She chose a simple, private life surrounded by her children and grandchildren, devoting herself to charity work and staying away from the glitz of the entertainment world. But decades of smoking eventually led to the lung cancer that she faced with quiet strength in her final years. Beatrice Arthur passed away on April 25, 2009, at the age of 86 after a battle with lung cancer. Her passing marked the end of a life of courage and dedication, but the roles she played and the values she championed continue to live on in the hearts of fans around the world. Estelle Getty as Sophia Petrillo. Estelle Getty was born on July 25, 1923. When she joined the Golden Girls at 62 years old, she played Sophia Petrillo, the small but sharp-witted and wise mother of Dorothy, a character who brought audiences laughter that was both biting and full of heart. This role not only made her a household name, but also earned her both an Emmy and a Golden Globe, securing her place in the hearts of fans through every witty line and expressive look. Born in New York to a poor Jewish immigrant family, Estelle's childhood was filled with nights at the theater and vaudeville shows, where her parents nurtured her dream of becoming an actress. Reality, however, was harsher, and she worked as a secretary to make ends meet while quietly holding on to her passion for the stage. It wasn't until she was nearly 60 that her career took a turn, with a breakout role in Torch Song Trilogy that opened the door for her transformation into Sophia, a role that would make her famous far and wide. On set, Getty created a warm atmosphere with her natural friendliness and humor. Although she was younger than Bea Arthur, who played her daughter, clever makeup and exceptional talent convinced audiences that she was indeed the mother figure. Beyond the Golden Girls, Getty impressed in films like Mask and Mannequin, proving that her appeal went far beyond a single role. In her personal life, Estelle carried much sorrow. Her nearly 60-year marriage to Arthur Edelman ended in heartbreak when he passed away, leaving a void that was hard to fill. In her final years, she faced the cruel effects of Lewy body dementia, a disease that gradually stole her memory and cognitive abilities, turning her remaining days into a time of isolation and struggle. Her dazzling success on screen stood in stark contrast to the quiet pain she endured in private. Estelle Getty passed away on July 22, 2008, just 3 days before her 85th birthday, after a long battle with illness. She left behind a legacy of performances that continue to resonate with fans and the memory of a determined artist who rose above life's hardships. Rue McClanahan as Blanche Devereaux. Rue McClanahan was born on February 21, 1934. When she joined the Golden Girls at 51 years old, she portrayed Blanche Devereaux, a charming, free-spirited Southern woman who loved men but was also full of warmth and compassion. With her mischievous sparkle and radiant smile, McClanahan's Blanche became a symbol of freedom, allure, and the desire to savor every moment, bringing audiences endless laughter and deeply touching moments they would never forget. Born in Oklahoma to a strict religious family, Rue's childhood was shaped by constant moves due to her father's work and by the heavy expectations placed on her. But her passion for the stage pushed her to rise above these constraints, from small local theater roles to making a name for herself on Broadway and television. Before the Golden Girls, she made her mark as Vivian in Maude and Aunt Fran in Mama's Family. But it was as Blanche that Rue McClanahan truly captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. Behind the spotlight, McClanahan's life held quiet sorrows. 6 failed marriages left emotional scars that few could see behind her bright exterior. In 1997, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and fought a hard battle to survive. Though she overcame the disease, her health gradually declined, and in her later years, a stroke and heart complications weakened her further. Despite her struggles, Rue McClanahan always remained a beacon of optimism, inspiring others with her passion for acting and her dedication to animal rights and human rights causes. Her roles, especially Blanche Devereaux, brought not only laughter, but also revealed the delicate, resilient spirit she carried in real life. Rue McClanahan passed away on June 3, 2010, at the age of 76, after a brain hemorrhage. Her passing deeply saddened fans, ending the life of a star both dazzling and marked by hardship. But her artistic and personal legacy continues to inspire generations. Betty White as Rose Nyland. Betty White was born on January 17, 1922. When she joined the Golden Girls at 63 years old, she played Rose Nyland, a kind, innocent, and sincere woman who brought audiences not just laughter, but warmth through her simple, heartfelt stories. Rose, with her endearing tales from St. Olaf and irresistible innocence, became an unforgettable part of the show for those who loved it. Born in Illinois but raised in California during the Great Depression, Betty's childhood was marked by hardship but filled with love. From a young age, she dreamed of becoming a forest ranger and showed a deep connection to nature and animals, passions that stayed with her throughout her life. Before the Golden Girls, she had already earned acclaim as Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, a role that won her 2 consecutive Emmys and proved her talent in bringing seemingly simple characters to life with depth and charm. Though her career spanned over 7 decades, Betty White's personal life carried quiet sadness. Her happy marriage to Alan Ludden, the man she called the love of my life, ended in tragedy when he died of cancer in 1981. Betty never remarried, holding true to her vow to remain devoted to his memory. His loss left a void that no fame or achievement could fill. In her later years, Betty faced growing loneliness as dear friends and colleagues, including her Golden Girls castmates, passed away. Yet she stayed positive, continuing to work and give to charity, becoming a symbol of kindness and endless joy. Her death on December 31, 2021, just weeks before her 100th birthday, marked the end of a brilliant chapter in American television, leaving behind a legacy cherished by millions around the world. Herb Edelman as Stan Zbornak. Herb Edelman was born on November 5, 1933. When he joined the Golden Girls at 52 years old, he played Stan Zbornak, the clumsy, often comical ex-husband of Dorothy Zbornak, a character who brought both humor and poignant reflections on love and heartbreak to the show. This role made Herb a familiar face on television and etched the image of Stan, with his messy hair and goofy excuses, into the minds of viewers. Raised in Brooklyn in a Jewish immigrant family, Herb once dreamed of becoming a veterinarian while attending Cornell University. But fate led him down a different path, to the stage and screen. After serving in the military, he met director Mike Nichols by chance while working as a taxi driver, leading to his breakthrough Broadway role in Barefoot in the Park. From there, his acting career took off with memorable parts like Murray in The Odd Couple, 1968, and supporting roles in The Way We Were, 1973, and California Suite, 1978. Herb's personal life, however, was less cheerful than the laughter he brought to audiences. His marriage to actress Louise Sorel ended in divorce, leaving him with 2 children and private heartaches. Though he had a long relationship with actress Christina Pickles, Herb struggled with loneliness and the quiet pressures that followed him off stage. A heavy smoker, he developed emphysema, a disease that slowly eroded his health and spirit. Despite 2 Emmy nominations, his life and career were overshadowed by illness and the sorrow of losing loved ones. Herb Edelman passed away on July 21, 1996, at the age of 62, leaving behind deep sadness among colleagues and fans who had admired his portrayal of the lovable yet flawed Stan Zbornak. Harold Gould as Miles Weber. Harold Gould was born on December 10, 1923. When he joined the Golden Girls at 62 years old, he played Miles Weber, the charming, thoughtful, and warm-hearted boyfriend of Rose Nyland. With his gentle manner and kind smile, Harold gave Miles a unique appeal, making his romance with Rose one of the show's most memorable love stories. Born in Schenectady, New York, to a working-class family, Harold Gould developed a passion for both academia and the stage early in life. He earned a Ph.D. in drama from Cornell University, a rare achievement for an actor of his time. Before finding success in acting, he served in the U.S. Army during World War II, enduring the hardships of the battlefield. His career shone brightly, with over 300 television appearances and dozens of films, including standout roles like Kid Twist in The Sting, 1973, and Louis B. Mayer in The Scarlett O'Hara War, which earned him multiple Emmy nominations. Although his career was full of accomplishments, Harold's life was not without sorrow. He battled prostate cancer for many years, a difficult journey that gradually weakened him. The loss of a close friend weighed heavily on his heart, leaving behind emotional voids. Yet the unwavering love of his wife, Leah Vernon, his partner for 6 decades, and the support of their 3 children remained his greatest source of strength. Harold Gould passed away on September 11, 2010, at the age of 86, after years of fighting illness. His passing was not only a loss to his family, but also deeply mourned by fans who had admired his portrayal of dignified, kind-hearted men. Richard Mulligan, as Dr. Harry Weston. Richard Mulligan was born on November 13, 1932. When he joined Empty Nest at 56 years old, he played Dr. Harry Weston, a widowed father with a kind heart, balancing family challenges while dedicating himself to medicine. His warm, relatable, and sometimes humorous portrayal of Dr. Weston left a lasting mark on audiences, especially as his character connected with the Golden Girls, adding to the show's charm. Born in New York to a family with artistic roots, Richard served in the U.S. Navy during the Korean War before pursuing his passion for acting. He graduated from Columbia University, intending to become a screenwriter, but quickly fell in love with the stage and screen. Richard rose to fame as Burt Campbell in Soap, earning an Emmy, and displayed his range through countless roles, from comedy to tragedy, on Broadway and in films such as Little Big Man and S.O.B. His personal life, however, was filled with storms. Richard went through 4 marriages, each ending in heartbreak and loss. He struggled for years with colorectal cancer, which took a serious toll on his health. The death of his brother, acclaimed director Robert Mulligan, added to his grief and isolation. Despite a brilliant career, Richard faced financial and health challenges in his later years, casting a tragic shadow over his private life. He passed away on September 26, 2000, at the age of 67. His passing was mourned by fans who cherished his portrayal of the kind and admirable Dr. Weston. Nancy Walker as Angela. Nancy Walker was born on May 10, 1922. When she joined the Golden Girls at 65 years old, she played Angela, the quick-witted, sharp, and mischievous younger sister of Sophia. Each of her appearances left a strong impression on viewers, thanks to her signature humor and lively spirit. Drawing from her vast experience on Broadway and television, Nancy breathed life into the character with her trademark comedic style, continuing the success of her beloved roles like Ida Morgenstern on The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Rhoda. Born into a vaudeville family in Philadelphia, Nancy took the stage as a baby and found her love for acting at just 10 years old. Her career spanned decades, with roles that combined humor and depth. She shone in shows like Macmillan and Wife, Family Affair, and was adored for her work on variety shows like The Carol Burnett Show. Nancy also directed for television and film, including the musical Can't Stop the Music, though it didn't meet expectations. Nancy's private life had its share of sorrow. After a short first marriage, she found lasting happiness with David Craig, her devoted partner for many years. However, a lifelong smoking habit led to lung cancer, which severely affected her health in her final years. The loss of close friends and career pressures compounded her battles with loneliness and stress. Nancy Walker passed away on March 25, 1992, at the age of 69, after a long fight with lung cancer. Her death closed a colorful chapter in American comedy, leaving deep sadness among colleagues and fans who had loved her sharp, intelligent humor. Sheree North as Virginia Hollingsworth. Sheree North was born on January 17, 1932. When she joined the Golden Girls at 53 years old, she played Virginia Hollingsworth, the wealthy, sharp-witted sister of Blanche Devereaux. Sheree's presence on screen brought moments of drama, humor, and deep emotion, making each of Virginia's debates with Blanche unforgettable, as her firm voice carried both elegance and mystery. Once seen by 20th Century Fox as the heir to Marilyn Monroe, Sheree possessed stunning beauty and exceptional dancing talent. However, her career did not unfold as smoothly as expected. Overshadowed by Monroe's immense fame, Sheree gradually shifted toward being a strong supporting actress, leaving her mark alongside stars like John Wayne in The Shootist and Burt Lancaster in Lawman. Her personal life was also filled with turbulence, with 4 failed marriages and the heartache of losing her close friend Marilyn Monroe, a loss that haunted her for the rest of her life. Sheree spent her final years battling cancer. Failed surgeries slowly drained her strength and ultimately claimed her life. Although she had no known harmful habits, the emotional strains of love and the pressures of her career likely contributed to her decline. Sheree North passed away on November 4, 2005, at the age of 73, leaving behind heartfelt sorrow among fans who admired her as a talented, beautiful star whose life was marked by hardship. Jack Guilford as Max Weinstock. Jack Guilford was born on July 25, 1908. When he joined the Golden Girls at 80 years old, he played Max Weinstock, Sophia Petrillo's longtime friend. Jack's appearances on screen brought a blend of charm, humor, and wisdom, making Max a memorable supporting character who provided warm and touching moments for the audience. Born in a poor neighborhood of New York, Jack's career was interrupted for years when he was blacklisted during the McCarthy era, an ordeal that left lasting scars. Although nominated for an Oscar for Save the Tiger and beloved for his stellar performances on Broadway in shows like A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum and Cabaret, Jack carried the weight of those political persecutions throughout his life. Beyond his career, he had a long, devoted marriage to Madeline Lee, his partner through every storm, with whom he raised 3 children. Jack's final years were overshadowed by stomach cancer, which gradually sapped his strength. He passed away on June 4, 1990, at the age of 81, leaving deep sadness among fans and colleagues. Jack Guilford was not only a gifted artist, but also a symbol of resilience in the face of life's trials. George Grizzard as George Devereaux. George Grizzard was born on April 1, 1928. When he appeared in The Golden Girls at 61 years old, he played George Devereaux, the supposedly deceased husband of Blanche, who unexpectedly returns, delivering both humor and heartfelt moments that revealed deeper layers of Blanche's character and past. George Grizzard was a celebrated Broadway actor, winning a Grammy for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and a Tony Award for A Delicate Balance. Renowned for his subtle, deeply emotional performances, his private life carried its own quiet struggles. As an openly gay man, he found happiness with his partner William Tynan, but endured the pressures of societal prejudice and Hollywood's conservatism for much of his career. The loss of a close friend and his battle with lung cancer made his later years more somber and challenging. George Grizzard passed away on October 2, 2007, at the age of 79, leaving a lasting legacy in the hearts of art lovers. He had no known harmful habits, but the lifelong stresses of both career and personal challenges likely took their toll on his health. His net worth was estimated at about $3 million, built through his distinguished stage and television career. Ellen Albertini Dao as Lillian. Ellen Rose Albertini Dao was born on November 16, 1913. When she joined the Golden Girls in 1988 at 75 years old, she played Lillian, a sweet elderly friend of Sophia who brought humor, charm, and heartfelt moments to the screen. At an age when many choose to retire, Ellen remained passionate about her craft, perfectly portraying a kind, graceful senior whose gentle smile and warm eyes left a lasting impression on viewers. Ellen's life was a long journey of dedication to the arts. Although she began her screen career later in life, she quickly became a familiar face, known for playing quirky, spirited elderly characters in popular films. As the rapping grandma in The Wedding Singer, Ellen surprised audiences with her youthful energy and charm, defying her age. She also appeared in Sister Act, Patch Adams, and dozens of television shows, leaving a unique mark on fans everywhere. Despite a remarkable career and living beyond a century, Ellen faced personal sorrow. She endured the loss of her beloved husband, Eugene Dao, in 2004 after more than 50 years together. Old age brought health challenges, but Ellen stayed optimistic, continuing to inspire future generations with her enthusiasm for the arts. Known for her humility and dedication, Ellen had no scandals or bad habits, just a tireless commitment that, over time, took a toll on her health. She remains a symbol of vibrant, joyful aging in the hearts of the public. Ellen Albertini Dao passed away on May 4, 2015, at the age of 101 due to complications from pneumonia. Her passing was a great loss to the arts, but her memorable performances continue to live on. Sid Melton, as Salvador Petrillo. Sidney Meltzer, known professionally as Sid Melton, was born on May 22, 1917. When he first appeared in The Golden Girls in 1987 at 70 years old, he played Salvador Petrillo, Sophia's late husband and Dorothy's father. With his small stature, distinctive voice, and playful style, Sid brought Salvador to life in flashbacks, making him a beloved, humorous figure for fans of the show. Born into a family with theatrical roots, his father was a Yiddish stage comedian, Sid found his way to acting early on. He became a familiar face in low-budget films and popular TV shows like The Danny Thomas Show, Green Acres, and Captain Midnight. While never a major star, he was a regular guest in countless American homes, charming audiences with his wit and warmth. Over nearly 60 years in the industry, Sid appeared in more than 140 film and TV projects, bringing laughter to generations. Alongside his career highlights, he also faced personal heartaches, including a broken first marriage and the loss of a beloved brother. Yet Sid remained cheerful and devoted to his work well into his later years. Known as a simple, scandal-free performer who gave his all to the craft, Sid's relentless dedication inevitably wore down his health, especially as he aged. He continued working until illness forced him to stop. Sid Melton passed away on November 2, 2011, at the age of 94, due to complications from pneumonia. His passing saddened the many fans who had cherished his delightful comedic presence. Geraldine Fitzgerald as Anna. Geraldine Mary Fitzgerald was born on November 24, 1913. When she appeared in The Golden Girls in 1988 at 75 years old, she played Anna, a mother featured in a touching Mother's Day episode. Though brief, her performance was filled with emotion, leaving audiences with the image of an aging mother still brimming with love and family devotion. Originally a famous star from Ireland, Geraldine earned an Oscar nomination for her role as Isabella Linton in Wuthering Heights, 1939, and built a long career with classics like Dark Victory, Watch on the Rhine, Arthur, and Poltergeist II. On Broadway, she stood out as one of the few women of her era to succeed as both an actress and a Tony-nominated director, showing her range and passion for the arts. Geraldine's life was not without sorrow. She endured 2 marriages and raised 2 children, while also bearing private losses she seldom spoke of. In old age, Alzheimer's disease slowly took away her memories, forcing a once brilliant, sharp-minded artist to retreat into the silence of her own mind. During her final years, Geraldine was cared for by her family, but faced the heartbreak of gradual mental decline, a cruel fate for someone who had once stood at the pinnacle of artistic achievement. She is remembered as a symbol of passion for the arts and resilience through life's challenges. Geraldine Fitzgerald passed away on July 17, 2005, at the age of 91, from complications of Alzheimer's disease. She left behind a rich artistic legacy that continues to be cherished by audiences. The tragedies behind The Golden Girls are not just stories of loss. They are testaments to the talent and lasting legacies of actors like Beatrice Arthur, Estelle Getty, and Betty White. Though their lives were marked by tears, the joy they brought to the world lives on. Which character touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts and help spread the love for The Golden Girls.